It's basically me and this other Yantan and this chick. We're both kind of like, trying to finesse. I'm trying to, skirt him off so I can like make some moves. I go up to the girl. I'm like, hey, you hungry right now? And she's like, yeah. It's like, all right, let's go grab some food. And he hears me. He's like, oh, I'll grab food, dude. The three of us, I put on music, and then she's like a dancer. So, dude, all right, maybe I don't want to say this stuff out loud. Finally, 8 a.m., I go to my couch, which is next to him. I curl up in a ball and pretend to sleep.
That's not the solution. Gotta pretend to sleep with strangers in your house?
Dude, some people are tigers, some are possums. So he leaves, and then finally outlasted this clown.
The possum awakens?
Possum was faking, dude. The second he was out the door, I was up. Welcome to the Smart Nonsense Podcast, where we talk about smart nonsense. Feels good to be back.
Oh, I'll tell you what's good to be back. You're wearing different clothes, Pop. Great to see you. How refreshing is that? Monkey
Dude, you
see,
like
monkey
that?
do, clap with his feet.
Yeah.
Clothes are dope, dude. That's good.
I just, as we were booting up, I realized there's a photo of me as a kid with my dad, monkey see, monkey do, and we both had the same thing. We're both just sucking
your thumbs.
Looked kind of like this.
So for the audio listeners, if you've never been to YouTube, go subscribe. The podcast,
It's a good place.
It's blowing up, really. You want to be there. And Dylan Pop's usually wearing
like
like
for a second.
Dylan Pop is usually wearing a black sweatshirt that says it's got consume crossed out and it says create. And then he's got his black sweats on, white tube socks and chancletas, which are slippers. And the tassels on the sweater are a little bit chewed up. They're a little bit chewed up.
To bits.
Today, he's got acid wash jeans, a white tees, looking fresh for the summer. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Yeah, well, I've been adjusting my nuts for hours because they're way too tight. So I'm going to go right back to my yoga pants after this, whatever you call those.
Yoga.
But no, dude, I have a dinner tonight with some friends. So I had to come prepared because I'm going straight to soccer, straight to dinner, straight to hockey.
He's
day.
activities guy. You know, some people never grow up, and that's what I like about you.
No need to, really.
No. Sports. 7
I
nights
was
a
thinking
week.
about that. Like, dude, growing up, actually some of my buddies, they were like talking about like 2021. Like, I don't know. They're just like, hey, we're crushing it at work, but like life was more fun when you're just being a hooligan. So you got to channel a little hooligan every now and again.
Let me tell you something fun, dude. I think Rick Glassman might be my favorite comedian all time.
Really?
All time.
Well, that can't be Lindy.
Low bar? Why?
Well, you discovered him 2 days ago.
Yeah, kind of. I was watching him with Rainn Wilson last night. I don't know, dude. He's just
The Office
really
Dwight actor.
Dwight Schrute from Dwight Schrute,
Oh.
Rainn Wilson. Dwight Schrute. I don't. He's unlike like any other comic I've ever seen. What I really liked is he was getting in on the Rainn Wilson episode just about how long he's been at this, and it took him like 7 or 10 years till his stand-up was even passable, like any good. And I was just like, God damn, like this guy's been at it a long time. It's kind of cool to see. I mean, if I know about him, he must be like kind of popping off or blowing up of late.
Yeah, I mean,
he's
I
different.
liked him.
He's so weird.
Yeah, that's it, dude. He's weird. He's weird as fuck all. And I like he just approached conversations differently. Granted, I haven't listened to a ton of them, but like of the conversations I have, they're so weird, so different that everyone's just like, yo, what is this? One, I sent you this clip. I think it was the freestyle guy,
Harry Mack. I think
Harry Mack. Yeah, Harry Mack, and it's a clip, and it was a long clip, maybe like 7-8 minutes or something like that. First like 2 minutes, I had no idea what was going on. Someone just said like, this is the greatest video of all time. So I'm like, all right, I'll trust them on this. And it was just like set up. There was like no context. Yeah.
Right. So there's like it's okay. Yeah. So someone says it's the greatest clip of all time. And it just starts with like Rick Glassman explaining what's appearing to like it's going to become some like he's setting up the scene for some improv. But when you go to like an improv show and they ask for a suggestion for the
One
scene,
word.
it's like one word. And Rick, he goes on for 5 seconds and then 15 and then 25. And then he's getting into a level of detail you didn't know was like possible. And now he's talking about like the emotions on people's faces and how you're feeling and what you're thinking, what your internal dialogue. And he just goes so deep.
Right. Right. He's like, I forget. It's been a while since I watched the clip, but it was like, you want to approach her, but like you don't want to make a fool out of yourself in front of her or your two friends, or like I don't know, just the like
We should roll it.
specificity.
Are we gonna roll it?
Well, roll it for 8 minutes, dude. Just copyright strike. To watch it, but like, what I always like, because I hate when you have freestyle people and you're like, all right, is this actually freestyle? Like, how much of it is like you came up with this on the spot? You give them one word and they could say that word, but then like a minute later they're just like reciting something they prepared. So dude, painting this story that lasts 2 minutes, and now he weaves this 2 minute story into a 10-minute rap story. It's like it was magical.
Right. So that was the double. That was the double Dutch. The secondary genius is his name Harry Mack or Henry Mack?
I think
Harry Mack then starts freestyling, but to your point, hitting every single specific detail that Glassman laid out.
It was insane. I couldn't even remember the story as well as
at one point he changes
about
beats. So like he wraps up one thing and then he just spins up something completely new. Dude, people operating at their peak is just
yeah. I was really aroused for that whole thing.
aroused.
But like more than anything, it was just like Harry Mack has probably been on 1,000 interviews. Never once has someone told him a 2-minute story and like craft that story into a freestyle, and it was just beautiful. Like I love people that just think all weird like that. So that was cool, dude. I guess I'm an artist.
I'll give you another one. People operating at their peak. This new singer songwriter that went incredibly viral over the last 2 years, Love. I sent you her stuff. She does like jazz pop stuff. She was in Chicago this weekend. I'm a huge fan, so we went to see her. Dude, talk about somebody operating at their peak. Like, I almost don't have words. Like, really? Her set was, okay, two things. One, she played Chicago like last year, but a year ago, she was in like a coffee shop with 15 people. This year, she's sold out at the Chicago Theater. I don't know who does that in 1 year. Two, everybody at this concert was dressed like her, which was like, I don't know what you call how she dresses, but it's like loafers and like the white socks and then like a ribbon in her hair. And so like to see this like cult fandom after a year, 2 years, mind boggling. And then just like her set was so tight. Like you could tell how hard she practiced and how good she is at her craft. She's playing the cello. She's singing. She goes up and does a piano solo. I like people that are really, really good at what they do.
That's what also crazy is she can have that cult, and I have no idea that it existed. Like it's just like super fans, and then fucking you don't exist to me. You're dead. I feel like a boomer. One of those like, oh, what are the kids doing? Yeah, I didn't listen to her. I only saw one clip of her. And that was the clip of the gay dude that we saw in Central Park being like, yo, what's your love life like? And she's like, honestly, it's like a pretty good 8 out of 10 right now. It's like, how do you meet your people? At my concerts, because I have a cult. She didn't say the cult part, but, we're learning as we go. I guess she has one. So that sounded cool. Also have a friend. This is another tangent. Just throwing this one out there. I have a friend that's into DJing. And, dude, he says the DJ cults, the groupies there are insane. So your boy might get a mixing pad, whatever you call those puppies. See what kind of beats you can drop.
Yeah.
Top of our game. What were we talking about, dude? I'm at the top of my game. I went to a party on Friday. You don't want to talk about that?
Top of your game.
I wasn't at the top of my game, but it wasn't the worst of my game, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, what was the highlight? I guess
Well, I'll tell you the low light first because she didn't ask for it. Um, well, it was like a college. It was like this MIT party, so like a lot of MIT people. I had other people, but like foundationally, it was MIT folks. So nerdy. It was kind of in a basement.
Nerdy
A
dirties?
lot of people. It was kind of hot. A lot of nerdy dirties, which generally means like an
You
unattractive
don't have to
nerdy
get into
person.
it.
Um, we don't. We really don't. But there was one girl that I wanted to talk to, but she was like busy in a group, and this other girl that I didn't want to talk to, but she wanted to talk to me. She pulled me away, and then when I came back, the girl I wanted to talk to was gone, and I was really upset. And kind of, dude, it's one of those like you envision a future together, and you're like, that'll just never happen now, because I
Because you
had
got
to
whisked
get the
away.
cork out of
Well,
the wine bottle.
reality is what? Happiness minus expectations. You got to stop fantasizing a future before you
Oh,
even
I
talk.
couldn't help, dude. Beautiful girl, smart. Didn't talk to her. No, she's smart though.
You
Um,
could be the
no, but it all
worst.
worked out in the end. You want the weird part of the
Oh,
story
I
or
want the
the
highlight. That was the low light.
well, it stayed low for a little while. Um, this was like a normal party. I guess it went really long. It was like all through the night. It was like 4 a.m. because dude, I'm waiting it out. I'm seeing what's going on because there's another person that I was like, okay, I like you. So stayed around at this party, 4 a.m. and I'm like, all right,
You're the last Yanton there.
let me think how I'm gonna tell this. It's basically me and this other Yantan and this chick, at the party, and like we're both kind of like, yo, trying to finesse, and I'm like, I'm trying to, skirt him off so I can like make some moves. And I'm like, I go up to the girl. I'm like, hey, you hungry right now? And she's like, yeah. It's like, all right, let's go grab some food. And he hears me. He's like, oh, I'll grab food, dude. So
Open
now,
invitation.
I know it was open. It was open. So I'm like, oh fuck, dude, just what I wanted. So we go outside. I'm kind of like, fuck this whole thing. Can't really find a diner because it's also 4 a.m. and whatever. So I'm like, let's just go back to my place and figure it out from there. And I'm like, you want the whole details in the story?
Yeah, the three of you going to your place at 4 a.m. to figure out what to eat. Oh, what about the bodega?
It's like a 7-Eleven. It's not like a hangout spot. But I could have bought her for a Cuban sandwich or two. So we go back, we just get drinks at our place, and like I live with a roommate, his girlfriend's there, they're sleeping, so we gotta like kind of be quiet. We go to the roof, it gets cold on the roof, we come back down. It's like
The three,
4:35 by now. The three of us.
the trifecta.
I know, and I'm like, I just thought the dude would like have a drink or something, and then you like peel off. Not the case, dude. We're loud in the living room, so now we gotta like go to my room, and so it's
At
three
5
of
a.m.
5 a.m. and clock's
Loud
ticking,
in the
dude.
living room.
So we go to my room, and then it's just, like my room's not big. It's just like a bed.
No,
Fucking
no.
walk around the bed.
Bob's
and it's
furniture, though. It is Bob's.
right, the best of the best. And and so it's just us three, and I put it sounds increasingly gay as I talk about it, but the three of us, I put on music, and then she's like a dancer. So, dude, all right, maybe I don't want to say this stuff out loud.
So she's dancing for
Well,
you too at 5 a.m.
Dude,
Ballet.
all right, maybe I won't talk about the whole story. Point is, this goes on for hours. Hours, dude. Sun comes up.
Which is common. Like you're not good at getting out of things. I'll put it that way. You're a go with the flow kind of present tense guy.
I know, but flow's easier with two when it's a 3-body problem, dude. I had 2 bodies, now we have 3 bodies.
Right.
I don't know what flow that's going to go in any direction. 7 a.m. rolls up. We go back to the living room for some reason because the sun was there and it was nice.
Dude.
Like, I couldn't get these people out, dude. I didn't know how to kick them out because
That's what I'm
defeated
saying.
At this point. I'm
Wait,
like,
I have a question. This is interactive. I have a question. Did you like the guy at least?
Guy wasn't bad. I'm just
so you're hanging. Yeah,
I'll hang at 4 a.m. maybe 5,
but 7.
7. Right. So
that's a new day.
Up, dude. It literally a new dawn, a new day. And so I'm like, I'm trying to hint like I'm starting to slump, dude. I'm like this in I'm like this in the chair. I'm like, yeah, it's getting real late, guys. Like, yeah, it's so late. We just gotta power through the night. And I'm like, no, it's over.
No,
We already
no, shut
powered
it
through. You
down.
gotta go home. And then I'm like, I'm starting to give up. I'm like, yo, guys, maybe you get like some, go get breakfast. You're probably hungry, right? We never got that diner food. You guys go. I'm just gonna sleep here. I'm like, yeah, it's a really good idea. Didn't do anything about it.
No.
So literally,
Oh, they must have been having a good time.
well, here I'll get to the
Or you got
punchline.
3 non-committal people, which might be how you ended up in this position in the first place. It's just like
I don't know. I don't
3
know.
people that couldn't quite assert
No,
what they wanted, and
here's
all
the
kind of
chain of
ended up in a
command, dude.
3-body problem.
Right. It was one of those like rock paper scissors, like rock beats scissors, but scissors beats paper, and it was just like it was a weird chain. Basically, I don't know. He wouldn't leave. She was only staying because she liked me, and I liked her, and he was just there hanging out because he liked her. And finally, 8 a.m. I go to my couch, which is next to him. I curl up in a ball and pretend to sleep. I'm like, I'm just gonna
That's
pretend to
not the
sleep.
solution. You're a grown man. Got to pretend to sleep with strangers in your house?
Dude, some people are tigers, some are possums. So I did the possum. And crazy enough, it actually worked. Dude's like, well, I can't be
dead
in this guy's living room. I'm playing dead on the couch. And he finally is like, all right, I'm just gonna go home and fucking go rock climbing or something. So he leaves and
Holy.
then finally outlasted this clown. But dude, I didn't know if I
Oh,
was ever gonna get out of that.
did she also leave, or did you wake up
No,
from
she
playing
stayed because
dead?
she liked me.
So then,
None of us, we didn't even know this guy's name. We don't know who he was.
so he leaves. The possum awakens.
Possum was faking, dude. The second he was out the door, I was up.
You know,
um,
I have
I'm
a
just like,
question.
yeah.
I have a question. Is that fun? That sounds miserable to me.
I'll tell you the lows. The lows when there's, it's been, I got to this party at like 10, maybe 9:30. So it's been 12 hours. he actually left at like 8:30 or 9. So 11 hours. But the point is like right before the person leaves, you have no idea when they're going to leave. It's indefinite. So that's the real trough, is
Misery.
right before the end. So it was just indefinite, and I'm like, fuck, dude. I mean, the possum was cool, but I'm also like, I'm taking a risk because my roommate's there. If they walk out and I'm possumed up and there's 2 random people in the living room, then it's like, dude, what the fuck is this? So no, it was, I don't know. It was a memory, dude. I'll tell you that.
A core memory. The thing to me is like, this doesn't surprise me. You've been in these kinds of situations before. I've seen them. I've seen the possum. I've seen it firsthand.
I didn't know how many hints I could give. It was like the Jungle Johnny situation.
Jungle John.
Where like
2 episodes ago.
No matter how many hints you give to a person, they just don't pick up what you're putting down. Or they pick it up, but they're just gonna like plow on because they got priorities. I know what this guy's plan was, though.
I think at a certain point,
he was hoping I'd fall asleep.
You can't be too hinty. You got to be crystal clear. Like,
dude, I was. I mean, I thought it was crystal clear. Like, hey, you guys should go and get food. I guess that was still too hinty.
You guys should.
But I'm like, I have to go. I'm tired. I gave him
that. Well, that's what you got to do.
I was like, hey, I'm going to bed in 5 minutes. And then 5 minutes came. I'm like, and they're like,
did you go to bed?
I did shortly after that.
Well, you did the dead possum. Yeah, I don't know.
I had an alarm clock off. They knew I had a 10-mile run at 9 a.m. too.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
Didn't, dude.
You didn't show up?
He was still hanging out.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude, your time is so unconstrained that I would have never thought a 10 p.m. party, unless you were hungover or whatever, would encroach on the 9 a.m. 10-mile run. But you're so unconstrained that just what whatever Diz does.
I
Really.
mean, I went to bed at 2 p.m.
Oh my
So fucking
god.
constraintless out here. So it's sick being single, dude, because that's really fun. Why have a girlfriend and you go to a movie and then go back and fall asleep? Why do that?
Whoa. There's also some. No, I think we've sufficiently gotten into it. But you're putting out downside to being single. Like I didn't even know this was a possibility.
I didn't either, really. Because in my head, I just envisioned I'd talk to the first girl, it'd go well, and then I'd hit her up at another
Right.
point, and
Well,
then she
right.
leaves, and then I got a possum. Really.
um, I got kind of serious threads. I got your plate. We were just talking about your plate. We're kind of coming out of the clip trough, like figuring out what the heck you do and I do and my brother does. And what was I telling you? Well, you were telling me you were in a closet, sad and alone all day. Oh, I was telling you like I was telling you what I think is why your trough is prolonging even like just
Oh, I got nothing done yesterday, dude. I stared out the window, and went home.
that's I didn't know you sat, stared out the window, and went home. So that's very informative because on the phone I was telling you like I think that the trough is prolonged by feeling unproductive, and we just haven't like defined what it is that you do. But now we kind of have, and we were just talking about like just like I think there's a lot of things I'm the bottleneck for smart nonsense wise that I keep being like, yeah, we'll get to this, we'll get to this, and I'm like, we just got to start putting shit in our calendar and then doing
Mm.
it. Like we got to get not so much stuff on your plate that you're distracted or overwhelmed, but like enough stuff that you're not staring out the window, getting nothing done, and then going home.
Ugh. Dude, dark. No, but I find
You
a way,
bottled
dude.
that up.
I mean, dude. Thank God for hockey. I had it at 11:32, dude.
You got to
I
be a
just went.
little busy, right? Like I I have enough on my
Well,
plate right now where like I feel productive. I'm not just staring out the window, shutting down, going home.
I'm.
I feel like I'm moving things along in the like clipped and content domain.
I was trying to, I swear, but
Oh, PC dude, we had a
oh,
call
that
with
might have
kind
been
of
part of
mentor.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
I
Questioning
don't
too
know if
many assumptions before getting any work done, really.
right, you got a question at the end of the day, for sure. You just got a heads down for the rest. I also got existential. I'm like, dude, because I was like, Belky, dude, I'm spiraling here. What's the point of it all? And you're like, dude, I don't know the point either, but you just got to put your head down and take the next step in front of you. And I'm like, yeah, but where's that going? And you're like, oh, he's cooked. So
Actually,
you can't.
another thought I had was we probably haven't discussed or realized how much like brain share clipped actually took up and satisfied your kind of problem solving muscle. And
Mm,
then we eliminated that. And I think we're not recognizing that well that could also be a reason that you now it's like when you sold your as if you sold your company. Then
right.
you show up to work the next day, you stare out the window and you're like, well, what next? I used to occupy 80% of my day with clip stuff in your mind. And then that's gone.
Well, here's the thing.
Even if the problems were dumb and it was like cash flow stuff and hiring stuff and like we think like it occupied that muscle.
I think the problem though is like the fun of the company to me is like working on problems together. It's like you come and it's like, here's the problem, let's solve it together. Uh, Everyone knows I need a pacer. If you've been around for a while, I need someone out there with me. And then it's like I'm out of it, but now I'm just out in the wilderness alone. And I'm like, oh, dude, I don't want to be alone. And I'm like, who's out here with me? I turn around, only guy I see is Bernoulli. I'm like, oh, fucking, what am I gonna do with Bernoulli, dude? I was, dude, I went to Reese wrote. He's a writer. He wrote a short, and the short was about cats flipping, and like how do cats flip? And there was like a
Why do
physics.
cats always land on their feet?
Right. Thank you. You drop them from wherever, they'll flip over and land on their feet. And so I didn't understand. Like the short was just explained poorly, and I'm like, okay, well, I had to go down the rabbit hole of how does this actually work, so I could really understand it. Because I'm like, if we're gonna teach, we gotta understand. And then I don't really know anything about physics, and so I started learning about like angular momentum and like how that works. And I just like I got upset. I'm like, fuck, how are we gonna like? It was just a lot to like turn this into what it should be, and I just got overwhelmed. And then I had to go home, and I just turned on Game of Thrones and started that series from scratch. it's like, dude, it was bad.
Hey,
Back with Khaleesi now.
didn't know about the Game of Thrones
But
cope.
point is, like, I really like this morning. It's fun to me when we're like looking at a problem together, and it's like jamming on. Oh, we want to tell this story. Like, what's the fun way to do it? And it's like, oh, what if Steve Jobs pops out? What if he pops out in this way, says this thing? Like, that's fun to me. That's like the South Park. Like the South Park. What was really cool when they're like 7 Days in Hell. Their documentary on how they make an episode was like the writers' room. It was beforehand just like fucking throwing out crazy ideas. Like that's really fun to me. But our workflow is like optimized in a way where we don't have to do that. It's like the async version. But that's just like I'd rather what's this, an assembly line worker that's more efficient but like less fun, less life in it.
Well, right. Well, I think what we're figuring out now is like, I think one problem and the reason we hit a ceiling at Clipped before is like you and I we were just doing everything together. And so instead of getting two people's output, we were getting like half because honestly, we were like stepping on each other's toes. Like we had to wait to hear from the other person. So what we're trying to figure out now is like, how do you each go off into your like freedom and responsibility lane, Jack, myself, and you, but then have these overlap moments that you're talking about, which is where you sync up.
Yeah.
That's new for us. I think it's going to be better longer term, but we have to figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's when I was riding into work today on the bike, and every time I pass Google's offices, and it's like this massive building. My first thought was like, it'd be kind of cool to work at Google. Like you don't get freedom, but like everyone there is really smart, and you can just like jam on cool ideas together every day. And then I just come to the closet. It's just me,
Not the
dude.
content closet.
Maybe, and then yeah, when you're busy, it's just like
put some things on the walls.
Talk to?
Maybe
I could, but I don't know.
No,
Maybe
well,
I'll
that's
work
the thing.
hands.
I think what it is when I'm busy, you don't necessarily know what you're supposed to be working on, but there are things I think you now know you can push forward. So when I'm busy, you're now busy, and then we sync on other stuff at another time.
Yeah. Well, part of the problem is I also hate working.
Oh, that's it.
In the shower this morning, I was thinking like, dude, I simultaneously juggling like all the ambition in the world and zero ambition. It's like I want to fix school, but also like I just want to play hockey every day. So like, what is that? I guess most people have balance, but like, would I be happy just playing hockey every day? I don't know. Taking me pretty far so far. Or just like reading books. Like, do I have to teach? But I like it. No, I like it.
Confusing one.
Dude, it's the fragility. It adds up over time, and then just gets soft.
Gardeloo! I know you're not going to end the episode.